A very warm welcome back to the Ice Cube, the home of the wheelchair curling event at the Beijing 2022 Paralympic Winter Games. The 11-team round-robin phase is ticking along quite nicely here as the teams battle it out to qualify for the semi-finals and a crack at those all-important medals. Our featured game here at the halfway point in the event is between Slovakia and the Republic of Korea. Slovakia, competing in their third Paralympic wheelchair curling event, have never medalled, with 6th and a 9th place finish to their names in 2014 and 2018. And they're up against Korea, silver medalists way back in 2010, coming in hot off a huge upset win earlier on day 4.
Let's give a round of applause to this session's competing teams.
让我们掌声欢迎本轮比赛对阵双方。
So let's meet the teams. Monika Kuklova playing the lead stones for Slovakia, this very experienced side. Dusan Pitanak, 56-year-old second player.
On sheet B, Sweden
Peter Zatko, the 4th player. And then Radoslav Duric, the 3rd player, and skip.
On sheet C, Latvia
and for Republic of Korea, Baek Yijin, the skip and lead player. Yunung Go, the 2nd player, previously the alternate.
Games will begin shortly.
Here's Go Sung Nam, the 3rd player, previously throwing 4th stones. And the 4th player for Korea, previously playing 3rd stones, Jang Jae-hyuk. So we'll get the games underway shortly. Korea coming in off the back of a huge win earlier on day 4. They defeated Canada to hand them their 2nd loss in a row. And Republic of Korea moving to 2 wins and 3 losses. 2 wins alongside Slovakia, who come in off a win also. They defeated Great Britain on day 3 by a scoreline of 7-3 to stop the rot after a couple of losses there to Norway and Latvia. Such an experienced team. 3 members already played in 2 Paralympic Winter Games. And the other one making his 2nd appearance as well. Meanwhile, Republic of Korea got off to a bad start, losing to Latvia and Switzerland. But things looking up. They made some team changes following the loss to the People's Republic of China and handed out a huge upset victory over the much fancied Canadians, the powerhouse in the world of curling. They were looking for more of the same. They did ride their luck a little bit, the Koreans, and they won't want to rely on the same kind of quality of shot play that they got from Jang Jae-hyuk. He really made those key shots so well against Canada. Excellent playing conditions here in the National Aquatic Centre, which also hosted the 2021 World Wheelchair Curling Championship. Always the same venue, always hosts a test event or 2 prior to the Olympic and Paralympic Games. So we'll be getting this game underway very, very shortly. Slovakia are going to be wearing the red tops and throwing the red stones, while Korea will be playing the yellow stones and wearing the white tops. So let's get this round-robin match underway here between Slovakia and Korea. Monika Kuklova gets us started. Korea will have the last stone in the first end. That all-important hammer advantage. To hammer the last stone of the end, that one unanswered shot of the end, really counts for so much. And a lovely draw into the house to start the game from Monika Kuklova. So Beck Hyejin. Beck is the skip and lead player for Korea. Trying to make the takeout on the wing here. Not the heaviest weight takeout we've seen in the round robin this week, but one of the most accurate. Comes down right onto the nose. So here is Kuklova playing in her third Paralympic Winter Games. First competed for Slovakia in 2010 at the World Championships in Luja, Finland. And taken it up in 2010 in Bratislava. Likes the complexity of wheelchair curling. And her hero is a Slovakian politician. Don't think that would happen in the UK too often. Ondrej Kiska. So here's Beck Hyejin. One player who's not changed position so far in this event. They've had a real shake-up, the Koreans, in terms of their playing order, even changing in the middle of the game earlier on day 4 with Go Sung-nam coming in to play the last 3 ends. So here's Dusan Pitonak. Makes a nice takeout as well. Has competed at times with all of his brothers in the European Championships. 4 Pitonak brothers. So Yoon Eun-gu keeps his place in the team, having come in previously alternate for the first 4 games. Came in for the game against Canada and really settled in quite nicely. Did seem to be perhaps a little stronger on the draws than the takeouts. This one doesn't have a huge amount of rotation on it. Doesn't have to get it out of there. Such an experienced team, this Slovakian side. Dusan Pitonak, first playing in the World Championship back in 2012 in Chuncheon in Korea. Competed in Nordic combined before his injury and won a bronze medal in the men's team event at the 1985 World Junior Championships. Took up the sport in 2007 in Bratislava, Slovakia. Real hotbed of Slovakian curling in Bratislava. So Eun-gu Yoon. Right-hander playing in his first ever international championship here at the Paralympic Winter Games. It's no wonder there was a few nerves earlier in his first outing in the game earlier on day 4. But really seemed to settle in and play well in the second half. And probably a good thing for Eun-gu to play back-to-back games so he can just pick up where he left off. Really was a terrific performance in the end from Korea. So we've got a centre guard here. That stone out at the top. Just outside the house there. And Radoslav Duriš, the skip, going to play the draw here. He's played over 150 matches for Slovakia in international competition. So much experience. The 47-year-old. Trying to make the draw around here. Gets nice and tight to the guard, but maybe too tight, and actually over curls and comes all the way out the other side, across the center line. Passes the guard pretty comfortably, but just shows how aggressive the ice conditions are. That really cut in at the end. And Korea will be able to play a takeout on that from the other side of the guard. So Go Seung-nam dropped after his day 3 performances. Had a little break for most of the game against Canada on day 4 and returned for the final few ends. Lots of chopping and changing going on in the Korean camp. But maybe they found a lineup that works. Sneaks past the guard. Oh, and actually over curls. A lot of curl here. A lot of curl that the teams will need to deal with. The ice conditions aren't always the same. Slight changes in the atmosphere and the playing surface will make the stones run differently, and that's something they'll have to manage as this game goes on. It's a huge amount of curl there. So Duriš has a daughter called Ella. He's played para table tennis in the TT3 classification, and also in his spare time served as the president of the #1 wheelchair curling club in Dubnica in Slovakia. Terrific draw there, right down onto the button. That's a beauty from Duriš. So such was the quality of that draw there from Duriš. Korea forced to open things up. I saw them play quite defensively for long parts of their previous game. And this is a defensive call as well. There's plenty of curl to be able to play a tap back, but Korea don't want to get sucked in, and they're going to try and peel the guard. Hits it on the nose. Has he made the run back? Oh, what a shot. What a shot here from Go Seung-nam. Not entirely sure that's what was called, but it's a good result all the same. Picks that stone off the button. Great shot there. So here's our first look at the 38-year-old youngest player, least experienced player of this Slovakian team, Peter Zatko. I mean, least experienced, but still extremely experienced himself. Played in the 2018 Paralympic Winter Games when Slovakia finished 9th. Played in 4 World Championships. Keen golfer, likes to travel and watching sports too. Previously played in 2nd position, and I think he was expected to play 2nd coming into the event, but again, like some of the other teams, like the Koreans, Slovakia having a bit of a shuffle around to try and get the best performances.
여기서 하면은 30, 30.
농이라 상관없을 것 같아. 혜진아, 농이라 상관없다고. 잡아주라고 그냥.
여기 맞으면 잼이라서 그러는 거예요.
So Jang Jae-yuk looking to continue his excellent form. He really carried the Korean
살짝만 좀
side
접혀줘봐.
in their previous matchup.
오케이.
It's a good one here. That red Slovakian stone partially hidden behind the guard. So the right-hander plays with that kind of side delivery. Expect to see it snap and break and curl now. Coming down nicely. Well, he's just picked up right where he left off. Terrific stuff from Jang Jae-yuk. So Korea lying 2 here. They do have the last stone advantage here as well. So Slovakia, Peter Zatko needing a good one here. Peter Zatko playing from a more central position than many of the players in the field. Didn't look like the smoothest delivery. The delivery stick came up and away, but looks like he's got a decent line. Oh, and makes a hit and roll underneath as well. Oh, that's a beauty from Peter Zatko. I don't think Korea will be able to see any of that red stone. What a shot from the Slovakian skip. See, coming down nicely, just hits inside the nose and checks right over in behind. Beautiful shot there. So Korea not taking a lot of ice here. I think might be throwing a bit of weight at this one. Difficult to see how they can score that here without reducing the weight. And I think that's what Jae-yuk was saying. Just give me a bit more ice, please. I'll throw a bit softer. Final stone here, the first end. The Korean fourth player and vice skip, Jang Jae-yuk, going for the tap back. Maybe they can still score 2 if they get it really good. Needs to get it by the guard. Chips the guard. And it's a steal of 1 for Slovakia. A terrific final stone of the first end from Peter Zatko, turning this end on its head. And they're off to a great start. It's a score of 1 in the first end for Slovakia, and they lead Republic of Korea by 1-0.
아니 얼마나 보이는지를 얘기를 해줘야 내가 잡을 수 있는데 왜 몇 퍼센트? Well, that first end really could have gone either way, but it was Slovakia with that final stone that really turned the end on its head. This is Monika Kunklova getting the second end underway, second end of 8. And if you've never watched curling before and you're wondering what on earth is going on here, I'll give you a quick explanation of what they're trying to do. Both teams are playing 8 stones per end. There's 4 players throwing 2 stones each, so 16 stones per end. they'll play them alternately. Slovakia playing the red stones and Korea playing the yellows. And once they've all come to rest, at the end, they will decide who's closest to the middle of those circles at the other end of the ice, the house as they're known, and how many are closer than the opposition's nearest one. It's 1 point per stone, nothing more. It's not target practice, it's not like archery, and it is an extremely strategic and tactical affair. So this is the second end of 8, and here we have Baek Hye-jin making the takeout. Nicely done. Just gently pushes it through the house. Duriš calls the draw here for Kunklova.
Chceš ísť na ten guard?
No, zmýšľam nad tým. Chceš nehať priestore?
Neviem, povedz si. Mám ísť normálne na stred?
To hrajme na túto stranu teda.
Dobre.
Well, perhaps a slightly negative call here from Slovakia, just trying to draw one into the house rather than going in behind the guard. And Kunklova didn't seem happy with that one. She wasn't happy with the call and wasn't happy with the delivery either. Let's see how this one works out for the Slovakian lead.
13-3.
Doesn't look too bad to me, is pretty much what they called. They weren't really attempting to get behind the guard there. And there is one of those famous brothers, Pitanak,
조금만 더.
the coach.
들어갈 거예요, 오빠.
František Pitanak, one of 4 brothers. Of course, one of them's out on the ice, Dusan. And there's Elena Kanova. Elena Kanova, the alternate for Slovakia.
Wait.
So Baek doesn't quite get to come around as she had planned. There's Jung Sung-hun, the alternate there. Was seen on the ice earlier on day 4, but returns to the bench. He was hooked after about the 5th end. And Go Sung-nam found his way back into the team. Coach King Sung-min. So Dusan Pitanak just throwing a guard here, trying to protect that stone laid up there by Kunklova. Needs to rear up now, needs to slow down. Well, excellent line there from Pitanak, directly in front of that red stone. I think we'll see a takeout here from Korea. So Korea going to try and open up the centre of play here. Great draw there by Pitanak. So big weight takeout here from Yunung-gu. Chips off the top one, but doesn't get the second one. Spins on through the house. So pretty typical tactics here from Slovakia now. After getting one in the centre line, they're trying to keep it blocked up in the middle. Technique is generally a kind of long, smooth low delivery of the head of the delivery stick through the stone to straight to the target. I'm seeing some of these throws from the Slovakians in particular, just a little bit kind of snappy and flicky. But once again, Pitanak delivering it to the perfect spot. So Ungu sets up for the anti-clockwise throw. Excellent technique from the Ungu, really low and straight through to the target. Has he got the double this time? He has. What a shot by Ungu. Smashes it back and removes both of those red pieces of granite. What a shot there by the Korean second.
저렇게 내가지고 컴퓨터 보면 많이 해지긴 하네.
나중에 센터 쪽에 가까이 있잖아.
So a few yellow guards kicking around in front of the house, but still a good opportunity here for Slovakia with a good draw here. Radislav Duric.
탓하고 바로 뭐 뺏어 나 쳐다보고 들어있는데 누가 쳐다봐? 아니 쳐다보고 지금 들어가고 나와줘야 돼요. 바로 나오잖아요.
Well, looking pretty good here as the weight starts to come off and starts to curl and bend and right down into that red forefoot circle. Terrific draw there by Duric. The skip and third player for Slovakia. Still a good chunk seen though from the hack. From the other end of the ice, I should say. They can play from anywhere between those red delivery lines that you can maybe see just outside Sungnam's stone there. They're the delivery lines. They're about 45 centimeters apart all the way across. So Sungnam trying to make the takeout round the centre guard. Oh, that's a beauty.
Oh, good shot.
Super shot there. Making it look easy, really. That had to be deadly accurate. Any sort of a flick on the guard and Korea would have been in big trouble. Looking rejuvenated after his rest on the bench. So here's Duric trying to return the favour. He has done. Would like to stick around in the wing. Well, it's been pretty cagey stuff, but a high quality affair so far. Neither team really giving an inch. And I think Korea have called the draw here. They've got the last stone, so playing it offensively. Just taking the handbrake off and trying to make the come around. So this is an aggressive call here from Korea. Bit of a must make. Needs to get past the guard though. This is coming up short. And that's a huge mistake from Korea. He chose to turn down the takeout on the redstone on the wing. And they've just thrown up another centre guard, and now Slovakia with a real chance to turn up the heat on Korea. They'll try and draw one down right onto the button, and they can get a good one in here. Maybe a steal on the cards for Korea. So an absolute belter from Peter Zatko in the first end to set up the steal. With one or two good ones here. Maybe another steal on the cards for Slovakia. They look like the better team so far. So crosses the hog line. Has it got the pace? Certainly got the line. And they'll want this one to curl down now. Get right all the way to the center line. Terrific draw by Zatko. Right down onto the edge of the button. So Slovakia lying to. None of those yellow guards in a scoring position. They have to be touching the rings, the house. We've seen Zhang Ji-yuk pulling some rabbits out the hat along the way. You'll need one here.
조금만 더. 좋아. 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 조금만 더. 쏘리. 이게 이번에 아니 상대가 이번에 그치 그러니까 10초
So you would expect another draw here from Zatko, something similar to his first one. Slovakia lying in shot position. That Yellowstone from Korea just rolling a fraction too far. So Slovakia will take a little bit less ice and try and make the draw right around. And this looks like a great line. Sneaks by the guard. Oh, that's a beauty. That's absolutely fantastic from Peter Zatko. Just drifts down and that leaves almost no room. Peter Zatko delighted about that one. So literally, Zhang Ji-yuk needs to touch the button. Almost no room to play with at all. But even if he can't make that, anywhere in the house will reduce Slovakia only to 1. But needs to outcount that stone in the wing. Needs to slow down, passing the tee line into the back of the 8 foot. And it is only 1. So a nice draw there from Ji-yuk. Does the most important thing in limiting the damage. Just accepting that that was a great shot from Peter Zatko once again. Another steal on the board here for Slovakia, scoring against that last stone advantage. And after 2 ends, they lead Korea by 2 shots to 0. Well, Republic of Korea haven't made good use of the last stone advantage so far. Slovakia just picking them off at the moment. 1 end at a time, 1 shot at a time. Marka Kuklova, looks like she's got some nice warm kind of slipper type shoes on there. It is warm in the National Aquatic Centre. You quite often see the wheelchair curlers with blankets and kind of some
Arctic clothing on, but it is very warm here in this National Aquatic Centre. So the guard gone up from Slovakia. They probably would have wanted that one into the house, because they know with a 2-shot lead that, or a 2-shot deficit, I should say, Korea aren't going to be playing takeouts with the early stones in the end. They're going to want to throw some guards to try and generate some offense, get some stones in play, and try and get a couple of points back with the last stone. Korea throwing the corner guards here, thrown out to the wings. That's quite typical of the team with the last stone, to try and make the play go to the wings and keep the centre open. So Kunklova trying to come around her own centre guard. Needs to really get down into the house. Coming up a bit shy. Kunklova will be disappointed about that one.
센터 들어오라. 이쪽으로 하자. 이쪽으로? 이쪽이 나을 것 같아. 센터 들어오면 이쪽으로 하자고.
센터로 먼저 가자.
이쪽으로 하자고. 이쪽이 나을 것 같아.
인턴으로 할게요.
So Beck choosing to come down in the clockwise rotation. I can only think that that's her favoured handle, because it does look like a more straightforward draw coming down the other side. Needs to kind of steer this between the guards. Well, that's it. There's always going to be a big ask to get through there. The gap between those guards a lot smaller than they actually looks, because of this the path that the stone travels down the ice, with all the curl coming at the end.
두 개 있는데 하나가 먼저 들어가 있으면 붙이라고 했는데 하나가 안 들어가 있는데 센터 쪽이 괜찮았나요?
So now Slovakia will come down the open side. Dusan Pitanek. This looks like it's got plenty of running on it. Needs to slow down to even stay in play. Needs to slow down now. Oh, that drifts right on through the house. So a bit of a let-off there for Korea after that mistake by Beck. And now Korea choosing to open up the centre of play with a takeout. Try and hit those two red stones and try and clear them both away.
한 번 열어요.
봐봐.
Hi. Wait. 들어가지.
So only gets the one. Ungu would have really liked to move both of those red stones. Slovakia will have the chance to play the same draw again. Continue to pressurize this Korean team. I wonder if there's a little bit of fatigue from their previous game on day 4. Slovakia didn't already play today, so maybe coming in a little fresher. Pitanek needing to take a bit of speed off this one, but he's taking too much. It's curled too early.
Okay.
And another miss from Dusan Pitanek.
see more of the same here from Korea, just trying to open things up. Could remove both of those red stones if they get it just right. I certainly don't want to give up another steal, Korea, that's for sure. It's still early in the game, but you don't want to be falling 3 or 4 shots behind. So they need to make sure that they've got a way in here. So Ungu, with one of the longest delivery sticks in the competition. Very strong technician. Well, removes it, but leaves it blocking the path in. Once again, Slovakia will have a third opportunity to draw one in here. Looking to really hit that one half stone on the outside, hit it absolutely full in the face, and Ungu kicking himself for that one. Just saw briefly Peter Zatko holding the brush at the other end of the ice for Radoslav Duric. That's the aiming point. Another great opportunity here for Slovakia. Looks like a pretty good line here. How's the speed? They would love it to stay just above the T line. Just drifts past it, but that's a super draw from Duric. Very good indeed. And Korea just not sharp enough at the moment, and Slovakia punishing them once again here. Sungnam, the youngest player of the Korean team, 36 years old, the left-hander. Comes through that high wrist position. Oh, good shot, opens things right up. Excellent shot there by the Korean third player. Perhaps a little unlucky not to keep his own Yellowstone in the house. Just need to hit it a fraction thinner, and that would have stuck around on the wing somewhere. But great shot all the same to open up that red stone. So just a guard you would imagine here for Radoslav Duric. Somewhere in front of that excellent first stone he played.
13-9.
He's getting right down, tight to the house. Just sneaks in the front door, but an excellent line and still a good distance between the two red stones there. Nice shot there again by Duric. A good end from him.
너 말이야? 혜진아 범퍼 어때?
뒤에 것까지.
아니 살려야 돼 계속.
잘 맞으면 2개까지.
그러긴 하네.
치고 올라가도 괜찮아.
Slovakia doing very well here. Keeping the pressure on Korea. They've really dictated the play in every end, really. So Go Sungnam going for the run back here. Oh, that's a disaster. That is a disaster. He makes the takeout, which looks great, but look where he's left that Yellowstone. Absolutely plumb in front of the red stone at the back of the house. Unlucky not to make the raised takeout. And that is a lot of clutter out in front of the house. It's going to be really difficult for Korea to get in now. You would have thought Slovakia are going to put some more debris out there as well to make it even more difficult. So they'll be looking to put a guard directly in front of that yellow stone, protecting the red to prevent that same race takeout being played. Peter Zatko playing from that very central position. Such a strong guy, doesn't necessarily need that side delivery to get the heat on it when he needs to play a heavyweight takeout. This is just a gentle one, however. Just looking for this one to kind of stop anytime soon. Maybe it can bounce off that white-yellow. Well, that works. Does enough to stop the raise. Well, it feels like Korea have been playing takeouts on guards this whole end.
탭도 있고요.
They still don't have a way in.
알아서 해. 잡아줘.
업이에요.
So Korea will just have to watch for the red guard just thrown by Zatko. May well spin into the house here. Well, there it is. Spins it in for a second one. And Jung Jae-yuk may have emptied his bag of tricks earlier on. Slovakia looking really confident, going from strength to strength here in this round robin. So this is Slovakia's final stone of the third end. Still one to come from Korea. Could be very difficult if Zatko can put a good guard on here.
13-1.
13-4.
Well, it looks good that it's come all the way down close to the button, but that's a huge let-off for Korea. They've got a clear path in now. Slovakia line 3, so this is a really important shot here. Peter Zatko will be really disappointed with that one. Still, not a gimme here for Jung Jae-yuk. Needs a good one. Certainly doesn't want to give up another steal, even at this early stage of the match. So here we go, final stone of the third end. And it's the Koreans, Jung Jae-yuk, the fourth player, going for the takeout on this stone at the back. Looks like it's curling early. Looks like it's curling early. Well, it does pretty well just to reduce it to 1. But Korea bleeding at the moment. One shot every end. Slovakia just don't even look like they're breaking sweat at this point. It's hard work for Korea. Even more so now that they're trailing Slovakia by 3 shots to 0. Slovakia are cooking on gas here, 88% accuracy. Just tremendous play by the Slovakians, and well worth their 3-0 lead. Just in cruise control of this match. And that match sharpness just isn't there from Korea at the moment. They're not getting set up well enough early in the ends, and then they're having to chase the whole end. It's been the same pretty much every time. Monika Kunklova's enjoying herself, no wonder. And that's better from Kunklova. We saw a couple of guards come up short of the house in the third end.
너무 결과적인 얘기잖아.
싸가. 우선 고. 지나가 또.
아니 카드 때문에 연락하더니 왜 갑자기 또 안 되니까 저렇게
So we see Baek Hee-jin, the skip and lead player, throwing a corner guard here.
이쪽으로 할까? 사이드 카드.
아니요.
Only 33% on her draws this far. See that orange and green GTX attachment on the end of the delivery stick. That actually doesn't need to be twisted to put the handle on. They just cock the handle to the side, 2 o'clock in this instance, and then as they release the stone, it automatically puts the handle on for them.
아니 그럼 이제는 센터에 2개만 세워져 있어도 그냥 들어한다.
Guard a little bit longer than they would have liked, but gets it in the free guard zone at least.
백해. 베이징 화이팅. 털이 없네.
Not a lot of handle on this one. It's just kind of drifting and veering off to the side at the moment, but may do enough to reach the house. Well, maybe not quite. Maybe not quite. That's a mistake from Korea.
저건 모르겠고 저거 봐야 돼요, 위에서.
With a bit more rotation, there's no doubt that that would have found its way into the house, but a bit of a lazy handle. And Slovakia just going to continue to pile the red granite into the house. Dusan Pitanak. That looks like a good weight here. Looks like a very good weight. Needs to slow down now. Oh, great shot there by the Slovakian second. And again, just not getting the lead play set up quite right are Korea. And they're being really punished by some excellent front end play from the likes of Dusan Pitanak and Monika Kunklova.
또 범퍼 같은 거 괜찮아. 노멀은 아웃되는데. 뒤에 것도 있으니까 범퍼가 나을 것 같아.
네.
범퍼가 어떻게 쳤어? 용구 형 범퍼 10초대예요. 용구 형 범퍼. 화이팅.
이거 스톤 싸가면 돼.
So Yunung-gu, 75% for the game this far. They can play a takeout on this top one, and things may look much improved if he can make this one and hit and roll off to the side. 2 Slovakian redstones in the house, not too much of a concern because they're behind the tee line. Well, would have liked to just roll a little bit further away there and leaves it plumb on the center line.
저기 서버리면 골치 아파.
열개 생겼는데 다시.
So they're going to throw the guard here. Absolutely the right decision. They of course could throw a draw into the house, but that's just going to be a short run back for Korea to hit their yellow garden and open things up. So trying to put this right in front of the other yellow stone. And that's just curling too much. Lots and lots of curl here in the ice cube here on day 4. The players struggling a little bit to cope.
이거 보여요?
오른쪽 거는 다 보이고.
오른쪽 거 필요.
1번 런백, 2번 필.
Koreans just lacking a little bit of decisiveness in their shot.
크로스 좋은데, 크로스.
노말하세요.
Shot choosing.
크로스 필 좋은데.
Korea could be a little bit
인편으로
canny about this one and try and be a little bit crafty and maybe try and split that Yellowstone into the rings. That would change things. Looks like they're going to play a takeout instead.
런백이야?
필이에요, 필.
1 럼백 2 필.
They could just play a kind of a heavy draw and just kind of split that Yellowstone and open things up while getting a couple of Yellowstones in the house, but they're going for the takeout. Looking a little bit wide at the moment. Well, does enough to open it up, but going to be a problem here for Korea. Slovakia is going to continue to put that guard back on. It's going to be red next time. Less chance for a run back.
8.6.
타이트한 거야?
아니요. 밖에 나간 거예요. 1번이 필이었으니까 열렸잖아요.
아, 런백을 딱 했어야 되는데.
노말이었으면 좀 세고.
Vladislav Durish having a perfect game so far, 100%.
나도 웨이트가 약해져.
As is Peter Zakko, we'll see shortly. Durish with more of a kind of old school delivery, more classical delivery stick, pulling the stone back and pushing it through. It's looking pretty good here. Just touching the center line directly in front of that stone on the button. Really well done once again by Durish. He's come to play today.
또 필? 아, 백가드니까 갖다 대어주면 좋잖아. 저거 백가드 삼아서 그냥 갖다 대는 게 낫지 않아?
돌려치기.
Swing Lam. He's only played one draw, but he missed it entirely. So Korea sticking with the takeout. It's not really showing any flexibility in their strategy at the moment. Sneaks past that one and chips out the shot stone. Gets that one right off the button, just hairs past the guard.
이제 안 돼. 들어오야.
So Durish with another draw here. He's got an excellent line. Terrific, terrific line. More brilliant play by Radoslav Duric. And Korea must just be wondering when this onslaught is going to let up. Slovakia just keep coming and coming, playing around the center. Korea just don't have the answers. They're not able to develop the play in a way that keeps the center open and goes to the wings.
두 번째 거지. 12, 11.
Well, finally, Korea switching up and trying something different. It's quite clear that all the takeout play is not working for them. Slovakia are making light work of this game this far. But Korea just need one good shot to really turn things around, change the momentum, get it going in the other way. I feel like they need to kind of get a point on the board maybe before half-time. This looks like an excellent line here. Nice shot there by Go Seung-nam. So Korea lying shot now. Does look like that Yellowstone will be seen from the hack, but at least they've tried something different here.
그리고 만약에 쳤으면은
주문하고 열면 뭐 할 거야?
어차피 막을 텐데.
And Peter Zatko, he'll be looking for a takeout on that Yellowstone. Radoslav Duric there holding the brush. That's the aiming point. They're counting for about 80 centimeters of curl in this one. So I don't expect to see a huge takeout weight here from the fourth player. Using his upper body, driving through, using his upper body and then bringing the arm through. Well, this has got a bit of curling to do. Needs to curl, needs to come down. Oh, it does enough. Well done by Radoslav Duric. Sorry, by Peter Zatko. Hits and rolls out of the rings, however, but this end shaping up nicely once again for Slovakia. Looking very, very comfortable, the Slovakians. They're not being put under any pressure by the Koreans. Could soon change though here. Jung Jae-yuk. He was generally better with the, has been better with the takeouts than the draws. Doesn't have much room to work with here at all. Well, how about this one? Doesn't quite get all the way down there, but outcounts the back one at least. So now, what do you do if you're Slovakia? You could play a takeout, or you could throw a guard. That might be the best call. If you throw a guard, then it's going to be really difficult for Korea to get in there to score. Just guard in front of the Yellowstone. Seems strange guarding the opposition stone, but they don't want them to play a tap up on that yellow. Looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and throw a guard on that red delivery line. Difficult to go too wide on this one. So Peter Zatko with Slovakia's final stone of this fourth end. Still one to come from Korea. Looks like he's got a pretty good line here. Just looking for it to split that kind of red delivery line. That would be perfect. Oh, and how good is that? How good is that? It's going to be very, very difficult for Korea to score here. Looking very, very focused here on day 4, Peter Zatko. He's hardly put a foot wrong.
스톨 앞에 거.
형 가라니까.
너무 멀어.
멀어도 할 게 없어 지금.
이건 아닌데. 너무 먼데. 이거는 아예 안 보여요?
안 돼, 안 돼.
안 돼요? 될 것 같은데.
So this is the final stone before the first half.
나갈까?
우리 시간이
각이 나와.
They're lining up a circus
거기
shot
돼.
off the
거기는
winger.
보이는데 거기 맞아서 안 될 텐데.
Gonna have a tough job hitting that thin enough to get it across and
얇으면 안 나가지.
making a hit and stick for 2.
해봐 우선 어떡한데.
얇아야 돼요.
If the Koreans are serious about trying a shot for 2, then maybe they need to raise that corner guard at the top of the screen. I don't see how they can make this by slicing the yellow in. I'm not sure they can throw it hard enough to make a shot like that. So final stone of the 4th end. Here's Jang Jae-yuk. He's given us the full welly.
너무 얇다.
Looks pretty close. Oh, so unlucky. Just need to hit a centimetre more of that, and then it had a chance. It's another steal here for Slovakia, though. Korea just not at the races in this first half, not getting set up well enough. And we saw a team change earlier. I just wonder where the Korean coaching bench with that precedent may make another one here. It's half-time. All the players will leave the ice for 5 minutes. But Korea with lots of work to do here. Now trailing Slovakia by 4 shots to 0. It's been an utterly dominant performance from the extremely experienced Slovakians. Slovakia on 2 wins and 2 losses, coming in off the back of that 7-3 win over Great Britain and continuing that strong form here against Korea.
Ako čo, Monika dá do stredu, hej? Oni postavia corner guard a my zase dáme do stredu. Oni zase dajú tam a my zase buď center alebo stred. Takže my budeme mať celý stred zakrytý.
Musíš to házať o pol kamene zase na také úzko tam.
Ako gardy by som stredal, len keby...
Korea played 5 games, winning 2 of their last 3. including that huge win. They've had a tough run of games against Norway, China, and Canada.
자, 봐봐. 따라갈 수 있어. 이제 얘네 분명히 들어간다고. 얘네 들어간다고 1점 주려고. 사이드 가드하고 들어가야 돼, 혜진아. 좀 더 세게 해서 들어가고.
아웃턴이 많이 풀려요.
거리. 미쳤나 씨. 게임 중인데.
Well, the Koreans need to do something different here. They're being outplayed in both tactics and shot making. But Slovakia, 85%. It's tough to see how anybody can hang with that kind of play. Those 4 stolen ends making all the difference. And the mood in the Slovakian camp. They look very composed. Very relaxed.
지금 그냥 퉁 쳐가지고 이거 뒤로 놓고 얘네 거 놓고 이거 다시 각을 보라고. 봐서 조금씩이야. 조금씩면서 던지라고. 웨이트 조금씩 주라고. 웨이트 체킹 잘 하시고. 알겠죠? 하시죠.
Steal after steal after steal after steal here for Slovakia, leading Korea by 4 shots to 0 at the half. From a Slovakian standpoint, it's just more of the same, really. Korea aren't really offering anything to concern them. But important to maintain their concentration going into the second half here. They've done all of the hard work in the first half. Don't want to let it slip away in the second.
거리야.
하지 말라니까. 뭘 왜?
가, 빨리 가.
뭔 말이야? 경기하고 있는데.
Both teams with plenty of time left on the clocks there. You can see on the scoreboard 22 minutes and 23 seconds for Slovakia. More than enough time for Monika Kunklova and her teammates to complete their full complement of stones here for the 810s. If you just joined us, you're watching live coverage here on day 4 of the Paralympic Winter Games from Beijing 2022. Slovakia and Korea going toe-to-toe, and it's been one-way traffic so far. Korea pretty much on the ropes already in this match. Giving up 4 consecutive steals to start this game. Baek Hye-jin needs to come up with something and come up with it quickly. The Korean skip.
웨이트.
So it just crawls over the hog line into the free guard zone. Slovakia would have liked their first stone of the end to be in the house. Not much chatter amongst the Korean team. You compare that to some of the other teams that we've seen in the event so far, like the Swedes, for example. Constant support and reassurance, lots of physical contact. Koreans looking a little bit despondent at the moment, perhaps tiring a bit from their efforts here on day 4.
웨이트만.
So double corner guard goes up.
웨이트 좀 죽었어. 아니야 4초.
think Korea probably could and should have done something a little bit different here. I think this is just more of the same from the first half. Maybe coming around the centre guard and trying to bump the stone on the button or something. They're just allowing Slovakia to play exactly the game they want to play. And that's in the middle of the sheet. And we're going to end up in the same situation again where Korea are going to have to open up the centre.
13-6.
Dusan Pitanak coming with the drop, trying to make the freeze on his own stone. Oh, that's a beauty. Great shot there by the Slovakian second.
하나만 더.
8번 조금 덜 떨어지니까 그냥 불 세시면 돼요.
인간 들어가면 안 되는데.
So Go Seung-nam.
아니 그냥 똑같아 그냥.
Yeah. I thought a team change might come, and here it is. Yoon Eun-gu. I think this must be about the 4th team change today. Yoon Seung-ham enters the game to replace Yoon Eun-gu. He's going to play the takeout on these red stones. And actually interesting to see Go Seung-nam as the skip now as well, as Baek Hee-jin moves to vice. Lots of chopping and changing here from the Korean camp. This is unprecedented stuff really from the Korean coaching staff. To make this amount of change in one day. So that one over curls from Jung Sung-hoon.
집중하는데 내가 그랬잖아. 생각보다 더 많이.
So that guard comes up a little bit longer from Dusan Pitanak than he would have liked. Way up there on the Agitos, the International Paralympic Committee logo.
노말이에요.
Jung Sung-hoon plays 0%, but we need to remember that he's only played one shot. He just entered the game, really. It was a little bit of a wayward one, though, coming in to replace Yoon Eun-gu, who was actually having a very good game. Very surprising to see him leave the game as the player with the Korean player with the top stat in the team. 72%, Eun-gu. That's a better shot this time. That's already looking a little bit better than previous ends with that missed guard by Pitanak. Punished by Sung-hoon. So Radoslav Durish, the skip, arrives on the scene. 45 meters from end to end, needing to be covered. Peter Zatko hovering his brush in the air there. He knows that if he puts it on the ice as they normally would, that it won't be seen because it'll be behind one of the stones out front. He's had a great game so far, Durish. Currently playing 100%. Unbelievable stuff from the Slovakian skip.
14-1.
So a pretty good guard there as well, directly in line with that red stone, lying in shot position. Continuing to apply pressure to this Korean side.
그럼 드로우를 하나 먼저 해놓을까, 사이드로?
그러니까 내 생각은 그거 우선 먼저 하고.
Slovakia not really showing any signs of taking their foot off the gas
They're not playing extremely defensive. They're just continuing to do the simple things well, and that's what they've done all game. So Go Sung Nam throwing third stones for Korea. So Go Sung Nam trying to come around here and ignoring the stones on the other side of the sheet. Difficult to line shot position. It is going to be a useful stone, but doesn't really help them get rid of the red on the other side of the sheet. So Slovakia here in the fifth end, still lying one. And this man Dury is playing a perfect game so far. Looks like a good rotation. How's the weight? Starting to come down now. It needs to rear up in time or just touch the yellow stone, just drifts on by. So the perfect game is now gone for Durish, I would suggest. Just needed a little flick on that yellow and it would have been so different, but it didn't. And looks like Korea playing the same shot again. Surely they understand that they need to move the red on the other side at some point. So Go Sung Nam trying to make a freeze on his own Yellowstone. A huge amount of rotation on this one, and when there isn't a lot of spin on it, it may not run quite as far and it kind of drifts at the end and curls more. Does guard that stone, but looks quite clearly to be Slovakia that are lying in shot position, out counting any of those Korean Yellowstones. So a let off there for Slovakia, and it's going to be Peter Zatko, who's been excellent so far here. He's going to be able to play the same draw that Durish attempted. Just a slight adjustment required.
No. Zatiaľ máme jednotku.
Well, I've absolutely no idea what they're doing right now. They're right out on the bumpers. Are they trying to come right around the outside and make a play on their own redstone? Seems risky. They could just play that same draw that Durish just tried to play. Let's see how it works out though here for Peter Zatko. Definitely trying something a little unconventional here. So Zatko going out into the wilderness. Right out on the outside of the sheet. A bit of guesswork required here. So they've just guarded that yellow stone to stop the Koreans making a takeout yellow onto red. Quite a good shot in the end. It's not the shot I would have chosen, but they played it well.
근데 앞에 거 좀 춘다고 생각하고 가보자.
인아웃으로 하느니 이쪽으로 하는 게 더 좋은데? 각은 승남아, 인턴이 더 좋아. 저 롱가드잖아. 어?
몇 초 때? 11초 때 해볼까?
So Jung Jae-yuk not having his best game here. Certainly not playing as well as he did in the previous game on day 4. Just run out of steam a little bit. This is a tough shot. Just coming down at quiet take-out weight, trying to bend it around the guards. He's chipped the guard and at least opens things up. That's a good shot there by Jung Jae-hyuk. That redstone looking a little bit lonely in there. So it's going to need a good guard here again from Slovakia. They'll look to just put pretty much exactly back where the guard was before Jae-hyuk removed it. Wild cue action, but he really makes it work. So Peter Zatko just looking for the guard here. Certainly going to get right down close to the house. Could do with it stopping. That's pretty good there. Good shot there by Zatko.
여긴 안 되는데.
정타 맞아요.
최소 정타예요.
So the question is, how
빨리
do
잡아줘, 승남아, 그냥.
the Koreans get it out there? They think the run back's the shot to play. They're going to try and drive that guard back onto the other red and spin them both. Try and score 2.
나 살짝 좀 버려야 될 것 같아.
Doesn't look like they've got too many other options available. So Jung Jae-hyuk with the final stone here of the 5th end, trying to stop the rot. Giving up steal after steal. Oh, this one's over curling. Oh, just squeezes the red guard past. It's going to be another steal of 1. 5 consecutive steals of 1 for Slovakia. This is just a walk in the park for them. And after 5 ends, Korea now trailing by 5 shots to 0. Durish can't believe it. I thought this would be more difficult, guys. That's just a bit of a landslide here. In terms of statistics, 87% from Slovakia. That's just incredible shooting. They're not having to play difficult shots though. They're getting really well set up by Monika Kunklova at the start of Jens, and then they're just having to play the simple shots well. Korea just don't have the answers at the moment. So Kunklova gets the 6th end underway. Oh, just a little bit pacey again. Drifts to the back of the house and just stays around.
웨이턴.
So this Korean coaching bench continues to make wholesale changes to the lineup. Changing the skip mid-game, changing the second player mid-game. We saw changes in the last session as well, when the alternate came in and did a
complete reshuffle of the positions. Go Sung Nam currently playing third stones for the time being anyway. He was previously playing the fourth stones and moved down, with Jung Jae-yuk moving up. That proved to be an inspired decision when they had a famous victory over Canada in their previous game. So Baek Hyejin again, still throwing this corner guard, throwing off to the side. And they're just not able to show enough flexibility in their tactics at the moment. Interesting to see what Slovakia do here. I think they probably need to throw a guard, given the free guard zone rule still in effect. That rule changing since the last Paralympic Games, moving from a four guard free guard zone to a 5 stone free guard zone. So if it was still 4, then they could play a peel on the corner guard if they still wished. Of course, that rule changed to give the team chasing the game a little bit more of a chance to get back into it. So that very much works in Korea's favour in this instance. Forces Slovakia to put another stone in play. Next time Slovakia come to play, they can start playing some takeouts. But again, it's just not ideal when time and time again the Koreans are having to start peeling and opening things up early in the end. I think timeout called here by Korea. I'd have thought they can still come around that red guard and maybe tap the red stone back. Just need to show a little bit more versatility in their thinking.
여기서 열면 얘네 또 가드 하잖아. 또 열면 가드 하고. 열면 가드. 들어와야지. 이 뒤로 들어오고 얘네 따라 들어오면 앞에 걸치면 무선에서 때려야지.
이거 지금 내가
지금 같은 거 사이드도 여기도
사이드도
마찬가지. 이쪽으로 들어올 공간들이 있잖아. 일단 만들어 놓고 시작해. 하나 이렇게 붙여 놓고 저 앞에 있는 거 붙인 상태에서 안 돌아도 상관없어. 붙여서 만들어서 쳐야 되는 거야. 이건 어떻게 할 수가 없어. 얘네가 오픈을 하게 만들어 놔야지. 우리가 왜 오픈을 하냐고.
그러니까 필요는 아닌 것 같아서.
그럼 들어와가지고 만들어 놔서 우리 걸로 쳐야지. 럼백 툭툭 쳐가지고 이 앞에 있는 걸 없애. 그리고 나중에 이제 퉁퉁 쳐서 벌려놓으라고. 퉁 벌리고 우리 사이드로 벌리고 퉁 쳐서 범퍼식으로 잡아가지고 툭. 내비도 저거 센터 내비도 나중에 지네들이 퉁 치다 보면 우리가 되면 지네들이 실수할 수 있으니까 실수를 바라는 거지. 이쪽은 냅두고 이쪽으로 들어와야지. 이쪽 냅두고 그 다음에 만약에 들어온다 그러면 이쪽이 공략이 안 되면 이쪽으로 컴 하나 집어넣어도 되고. 그러니까 이쪽부터 계속 들어와야 돼. 테이크하면 우리 안 돼. 점수를 못 따.
점수가 안 돼.
계속 틀어서 만들어서 해야 돼.
들어가는 거죠.
들어와서
여는 게 아닌 것 같아서 나도 타임한 거라.
So it looks like the coach has changed the call. No longer going for a takeout. They're either trying to make a freeze or just trying to tap that redstone back a little bit. Either would be a much better call than the peel. They need to start taking more risk here if they want to have any chance of getting back into this.
두 번째 샷이지? 첫 번째?
So Jung Sung-hun came into the game at half-time. Didn't make too much of an impact in the 5th end, but maybe this is his time now. Going for the clockwise drop. Using the full width of that delivery area. Trying to get a better angle for this drop.
Wait.
Looks like a good line here.
쳐.
And taps it back.
그래, 됐어.
Well, almost. Could have done that just curling a little bit more. I think that Yellowstone will be wide open, but great to see Korea trying something different here.
Radšej ten guard ako nič. Či?
Sam Piternak's had a good game. Mostly been throwing guards. Been asked to throw a takeout on this occasion. It's only his second takeout of the game, believe it or not. Well, you never know it. Hits it absolutely full in the face. So after that shot there by Dusan Pitanak, Slovakia lying 3 here in the 6th end, already leading by 5.
안 돼. 농간해야 돼.
Lacking some conviction in their decision making at the moment.
농간대가 있어서.
So now we're going to have Jung Sung Hun coming up the centre line. I think it's probably the right shot. You've got a chance to make a play on that stone on the button, and they might not get another chance to do it. So they clearly need to get rid of that one. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to score.
타이트야.
So needs to steer this through the port. Over curls and chips the guard. Opens things up. There, oh there. It's just looking like a game to forget for Korea, the way this is going. Just no signs of life really at the moment. So actually, and I mean, the way Slovakia are calling the game, it's like they're almost the ones that are chasing. Is the tactical situation is really quite strange. Even with a 5-shot lead here, we've got Slovakia throwing a guard. But it's worked for them so far. They're continuing with the same ploy. Durish maybe a little bit inside the brush on that one. A little bit too much speed and comes right down into the house. That's fine though. It's going to force Korea to play a takeout.
좀 더 잘해보자, 신중해보자.
So Go Sung Nam, benched earlier on day 4, made his return. Let's see how this one goes for the left-hander. No, still backing off the centre line. Just hairs by the top guard. And makes the roll under cover. Just about anyway. Great effort there by the Korean third player. Really did that the hard way. Had to get extremely close to that top guard. Could have played the other handle there and it wouldn't have been in play at all. Now this is the first real question that's been asked of Slovakia for some time. And here's Durish, who's played pretty impeccably so far. Lots of body English in that one. So trying to come around and chip the stone out. Oh, there we go. That's what Korea have been looking for. Finally, a mistake from Slovakia. Just haired off their own stone in the button, but it's the yellow they were wanting to remove. So now, maybe a glimmer of hope here for Korea. So they're going to play a takeout on that stone in the button to try and lie too. Go Sung Nam. Well, really nicely done. Excellent stuff from Korea. really nice pair of stones from the Korean third player. Well, what would a multiple score in this 6th end do for the Koreans' confidence? This game isn't over yet. The fat lady hasn't sung. But one thing's for sure, Korea need to score here in the 6th end, and probably needs to be at least a score of 2 to have any chance. Peter Zatko, anytime he's been put under pressure, he's delivered. He needs a really good one here. This is one of the most difficult shots he'll have played today. So big shot here for Peter Zatko. Needs to bend it around the top guards. Needs to get by. Oh, it's glanced off it. Has it gone on to the other one? Chipped his own red. Pinball here from Slovakia and squeezes into shot position. But that'll be a wide open takeout for Korea to lie 3. Just haired off the top guard. Frustration for Peter Zatko. 95% against Jung Jae-yuk's 38. With any sort of sweeping there, if we were playing the Olympic format of curling, then that probably would have passed the guard just to keep it straight. But no such thing in wheelchair curling. And Korea building a nice end here. Perhaps the Slovakians just switching off a bit here in the 6th end. Some lapses of concentration, and it looks like, as things are standing, that Korea are going to make them pay for it. To the tune of multiple points.
진짜 3내는 끊어줘야 돼. 진짜 안 돼.
A bit more speed in this one here from Peter Zatko. He'll be looking to try and make the double takeout. Well, it's safely by the guards. How many is he going to remove? Well, only 1. So it looks like it's going to be a straightforward draw for 3 for Korea.
테이크하자고.
Oh, I'm really surprised to see them calling a takeout here. I mean, if they hit that red stone on the nose, there's no guarantee it's going to be out counting the red on the other side. Does look like the draw might be an easier shot here. Final stone of the 6th end. Jung Jae-yuk needs a good one. Chance to score 3.
안 돼.
Looking wide at the moment. And where's this going? Well, that was a bad call and a bad result. But still a score of 2 from Korea. And finally, they're on the scoreboard. It's been a hard road to get here, but they're still alive in this game. But trailing with just 2 ends to come here. After 6 ends of 8, it's Slovakia 5, Korea 2.
어차피 여기니까.
Unbelievable that they didn't draw there. You can see the Korean coach gesticulating from the bench there.
Seventh end underway here.
웨이트만.
Slovakia 5-2 up on Korea. Korea scoring 2 to extend the game, really. And throwing up a centre guard. It's a shame the scores come so late in the game for Korea. The way the first half was going with all those steals of one. Kind of felt like maybe just a slight change of scenery would have been a good thing in terms of Korea starting the end of instead of chasing it like they have been every single end, and they've just not had the answers for Slovakians' good setup play. But at least in this instance, with them starting the end, then they get the chance to take the initiative. And they'll go after the steal here in the seventh end, trying to score against the last stone. They're going to try and choke up the center of the sheet.
네.
So Korea come a little deeper into the house than it would have liked there. And Slovakia will be able to play a takeout at the back if they so wish. That is what they're going to do. Radoslav Duriš down there holding the brush, the aiming point here for Monika Kunklova. Ably secured there by Dusan Pitanak. So just sneaks by the guard. Oh, but actually over curls and misses entirely. Another break here for Korea. Slovakia certainly starting to give up some chances. Look at the amount of curl here. Look for all the world for 90% of the journey like it was going to make contact. But just dived away at the end.
얼음 죽은 것도 생각하고.
저 웨이트만.
Oh,
이것만 빼고.
Sung-hoon
약해.
needing to try and make the come around. Another mistake. Just joined the game at half-time, and we saw a good takeout in the previous end, but apart from that, not much of note from the Korean second player. So now, Slovakia are going to start playing much more defensively. They're going to try and remove both of these yellow stones here. And with a powerhouse like Dusan Pitanak ready to throw.
Three.
So just changing stone here. Obviously fancies this one over the other one. Maybe this one a little bit straighter. That's quite often the case, that you would choose a straight stone for a takeout. Whereas you would maybe leave a stone that maybe curls more than the others for a draw. Look at that. Terrific shot by Dusan Pitanak. Pushes that one into the house, but still opens up the middle of the sheet. That really was a good shot there from the big Slovakian second.
앞에 살짝 묻히는 거.
들어가면 안 되지.
살짝 묻히고 비플랜
아까
가드예요.
타이트 했어요. 그리고
조금만 넓혀줘.
웨이트.
So you would think just a guard required here from Jung Sung-hoon.
묻히는 거, 살짝 묻히는 거. 가드 되면
43 years old.
And really well done here by the Korean second. This is better. This is much better from Korea. They're hanging on here, barely.
몰라, 크로스를 못 봤어. 몇 초예요?
A little bit of a strange call here from Korea. They obviously don't like Korea lying too, but as things stand, it's an easy shot for them to score in this end. And it's the guard that's more of a threat for them. They make the take out at the back of the house and rolls underneath, but Korea will be able to freeze that. And this end developing quite nicely for Korea, despite that being exactly as the shot was called. Maybe a poor shot selection. So this really is set up quite nicely for a finale here in the 7th end. Maybe a chance to steal here for Korea. All the stones on the center line.
너무 센데?
2초. 2초.
That was a missed opportunity again there for Korea. Now, Slovakia have called a timeout. If they're clever, they'll remove the centre guard here. They're already lying one, they've got a nice freeze on. The real threat here to them is that centre guard. That's the only stone that's going to keep them from scoring in this end. Here's František Pitanak, the brother of Dusan, arriving on the scene shortly.
No, ten guard je tam úplne, ale úplne zlý, takže ho dáme preč. A inak, jak sa máte? My dobre celkom.
Dobre, ideme na stranu.
Hej, ale z tej strany ho nás trafi, lebo tu...
Z tejto, hej?
No, lebo tu je tento, hej, aby nebol zbytočne jam, hej, takže keď pôjdeš z tej strany, aby ten žltý išiel tam a náš tam, hej.
Horšie by sa mi z druhej strany.
Ako teoreticky, no. Nebude tam, keď sa opre, hej, nevadí. Hlavne, že to je čisté.
Keď vám dovolíme strieľať, ja len do konca.
A zobrať aj jednotku.
My? Jednotku? No, jasné, určite, hej.
Dobre.
Teraz proste otvoriť to.
Už je mňa žedušku. Hej.
Well, it's a shame that I don't speak Slovakian. So there's obviously a good joke cracked there. I like a good joke. Let's see what they've called though. Well, I'm delighted to see the Slovakians move out and call the peel on the guard. They're going to try and chip that yellow stone in the centre line away and open things up. It's absolutely the right decision here. Well, after that, oh no, can you believe it? Radoslav Duris, that's a shocker. Oh, not only did he miss the guard, he took out his own stone off the button. Dear, oh dear. Korea hanging on here. Duris laughing, but might not be laughing in a minute. Korea send another one round the centre guard here. They could well be on for a steal of a couple.
콜 왜 이렇게 없지?
Nervous moments here for Slovakia.
콜이. 아, 쏘리 이거 밀 때다가
That was a missed opportunity there.
근데 콜도 지금
So with those two stones touching, Slovakia could play the double peel on those two yellows quite easily. But they're turning it down after that previous miss. Deciding to make the draw into the house. They want to lie shot position.
12-4.
Well, a good shot, taps it back. Actually taps it just about all the way through, just clinging to the back line. Still a chance to steal though for Korea. They've got a couple of guards on.
시간이 없네.
웨이트만.
So is this one looking, has it got the legs to get all the way down there?
마약한데?
Well, comes up shy again. Plenty of cover for Korea, but still Slovakia lying in shot position and with a chance to get another one in there as well. Well, what we've learned about Korea on day 4 is that they are good front runners because they like to play defensively, but not so strong at chasing the game, not so good at the draws, not so good at kind of being creative and developing a situation. So Peter Zatko trying to play the draw around here. Slovakia continuing their good form so far here on day 4.
Dobre.
Pekne, Peťo, krásne.
Nice draw here. Just gets far enough down to lie 2 for Slovakia.
웨이트만.
And here's Korea's final stone of the 7th end. This needs to be lying in shot position. Needs to be lying shot after this one and looking wide. Looking high, wide and handsome, and all the way through, all the way past those 2 red stones. And that could well be the final nail in the coffin for Korea. And that's going to be at least a score of 2. And the way Peter Zatko has been playing, you would really expect him to find the house to score 3. Korea just not able to match their performance levels from earlier on day 4. So this is the final stone of the 7th end. Peter Zatko just needs to find that white 8-foot circle really to lie 3 and score 3. And surely that would be the end of the game with just one end to come. A 6-shot lead. Needs to get by the guard though. Needs to get by the guard. Oh, and it's not got the legs. Comes up a little short. Comes up a little short. That might still be enough though. It's a score of 2 in the 7th end. And Slovakia moving further ahead. And handshakes come in from Korea. Well done to Slovakia. A thoroughly well-deserved, polished performance from the Slovakians to defeat Korea here on day 4. Korea just not at the races. gave up a whole host of steals, just bleeding a single shot at a time all throughout the match. And not able to continue that great form already shown on day 4. Slovakia just motoring along quite nicely at the moment. Super performance here, defeating the Republic of Korea by 7 shots to 2. Well, lots of chopping and changing in the Korean lineup. I think the Korean coaching bench will need to try and decide on their best lineup. Can't keep chopping and changing all throughout the tournament. Need to settle on their best lineup and trust them to make a run for the playoffs. Final score here, though, in the round robin: Slovakia 7, Republic of Korea 2. And this is how they all stack up after that result. Slovakia moving to 3 wins and 2 losses, while Republic of Korea dropping to 2 and 4. But they're all bunched up. It's all developing quite nicely here in the round robin as we're around the halfway point. Slovakia just making a ton more shots than Korea. And those 5 stolen ends really blowing the game wide open. An excellent performance here from Slovakia on day 4, seeing off Korea. They really got out of the traps fast and just controlled the game throughout, stealing their way all through the first half. And Korea just didn't have the answers, couldn't turn it around. And Korea, after their super win earlier on day 4 over Canada, couldn't follow it up. Slovakia going along very nicely here in the round robin and very much in contention for the playoffs. So that's it from our day 4 matchup between Slovakia and Republic of Korea. The final score, 7 shots to 2.